Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 213 based on novel. So let's start. Within the Yunmo planet control room, when they heard what Elder Fan Chi said, they were all silent. Luo Feng couldn't help but recall the scene of what happened on the capital planet. When the mother nest and the large amount of bug soldiers first appeared, just the energy released by the close to 10,000 undyings, it immediately caused the entire planet to explode. Destroying an entire planet was an extremely hard thing to do. Even though at Sector Lord level, one move could cause mass extinction on a life planet, that was only destruction on the surface, the planet itself would still survive. As for an undying, they too needed to put all their energy in one strike to be able to destroy a planet. And there were simply too many bug soldiers. With all of them gathered, just the energy that erupted from them created that shocking effect. Just now, that one move actually destroyed an area with a diameter of 10,000 kilometers. Luo Feng emphasized. It was very strong. Dylan said softly, even if they coordinated well, for thousands of undying to accurately and simultaneously attack, making all of them precisely gather at one point, none of them can have even a little bit of error. Even if done well, out of 10,000 times, maybe one would succeed. However, the moment it does, with the attack of thousands of undying, it would cause a maelstrom in the space itself, the power would be devastating. This would be akin to a universe night. The crowd nodded, all still reeling from before. The first thing is their consciousness has to be one. Elder Fan Chi said solemnly. Second, they are not afraid of death, and third, with the Bug Clan Mother Nest controlling them through her consciousness, thousands of Bug Clan soldiers are able to unleash incredible lore-infused attacks. Just like when they were chasing me, they condensed the space around me, making me unable to teleport. Teleportation was like a fish swimming in water. With the space condensed, it was like turning the water to ice. Naturally, the fish cannot swim. They even know origin lore attacks. The armored youth Kashna said with shock. Of course. The 9th Army leader smiled coldly. The Bug Clan, as a pinnacle race like ours, they are one of the races with the biggest population, and also one that has the smallest population. If we count those soldiers without direction, then their numbers would be endless. If we don't, just counting the highly intelligent Mother Nest Queens, then there would only be those few. Even the most normal Mother Nest Queen, at pinnacle maturity, they too would be Sector Lord level and would be able to produce large amounts of Sector Lord soldiers. The 9th Army leader said, much less the undying Mother Nest, even if Emperor-level undyings encountered it, they would fall if they weren't careful. The Mother Nest Queen is highly intelligent. Its consciousness and mental capabilities are very strong. It can individually control countless soldiers, even doing precise combined attacks. Hence, you can imagine how powerful it really is. The Bug Clan all have soul imprints, one of the pinnacle races of the universe. Any queen is a master of soul techniques, this is also why it's so hard to control a Mother Nest Queen. The 9th Army leader smiled. And the most pinnacle of beings in the Bug Clan, any one of them, if they used a soul invasion technique, all of us would probably be controlled and be unable to flee. The armored youth Kashna blinked, that powerful? Everyone else glanced at him, even the 7 official level undyings of the Pagoda Squadron felt disgraced. Luo Feng too glanced at him without speaking. In regards to the power of the Bug Clan, his golden horned beast inherited memories had detailed records of it. A large part of his memories described the Bug Clan. As there was simply too much on it, Luo Feng had only browsed through the basic information. However, even so, that was enough to make Luo Feng feel shock and fear. The Bug Clan. Even the golden horned beast race didn't dare mess with it, especially certain core areas of the Bug Clan. There lay endless seas of bug soldiers, it would easily make any warrior lose confidence. How did the Mother Nest come here? How could it dare to come here? Luo Feng frowned. Aren't they afraid the warriors of Earth would head over and kill it? Some of the absolute warriors of the Virtual Universe Company can completely teleport through their god countries over, and come kill it. And if the Mother Nest were to teleport through its god country away, it would be a good chance to confirm the location of its god country. Once that's done, it would be killed without a doubt. Your Majesty. The gold-armored elder's voice was like metal clanging. Yao Hao and Jeffrey were controlled by their souls, they may have been controlled by that Mother Nest from before. Once they were killed, it immediately found out and hence brought its elites and teleported over to exact its revenge, as to why it dared to, I guess that it didn't use its own god country but through one of the undying's god country. That way, even if it met the absolute beings of humanity, the Queen could still take the mother nest with its soldiers and escape. Even if humans discovered the God Country, it would only be that of the controlled Undying, which is not a threat at all to the Queen. With the Undyings it controls as the stepping board, it can very safely and swiftly escape back to the Bug Clan region. The warriors of Earth naturally wouldn't dare invade there. Luo Feng nodded when he heard this, after which he asked curiously, then, are there no threats to it? Humanity will just allow it to continue on killing, of course there are dangers. The gold-armored old man laughed, the powerful beings of humanity will leave markers throughout humanity's territories. The moment a big threat like the Bug Clan mother nest appears at one spot, those beings would immediately teleport over. With their overwhelming power, they would kill the mother nest. Of course, killing it would be somewhat difficult, however even if they don't kill it, they would have a guarantee of killing a large amount of Undying Bug soldiers. After all, creating an Undying Bug soldier is not easy. The gold-armored elder shook his head and smiled, that Queen before had to dig up a lot of her army just to come over. After a while, the atmosphere within the control room had lightened a little. The mother nest, which was an extremely dangerous threat, had made the group not want to discuss it any further. After all, against such a being, one at least had to be Emperor-level Undying to fight back. 9th Army Leader, how's the situation with the army? Luo Feng looked at the 9th Army Leader. I'm currently contacting the other Undyings controlling the 30 interstellar battleships through the virtual universe. The 9th Army Leader was obviously affected, his voice was hoarse. Right now the situation isn't fully confirmed. Your Majesty Luo Feng, please wait a while as I check with the other Undyings. The report will be out soon and I'll relay it to you. After which, he closed his eyes. After a while, he opened his eyes. How is it? Luo Feng asked. The losses are huge. His face was ashen. When the mother nest and Undying army first appeared through the God Country, the energy that erupted from them caused the entire capital planet to explode. The large amounts of universe level, domain lord level and few sector lords engaged in the mission all died instantly. Luo Feng was silent. During that first explosion, it wasn't just the large amount of soldiers that died, even all the countless innocent civilians all died. Over 10 billion people just died like that. And after that, when the mother nest ordered the combined attack, causing a maelstrom in space and explosions within the fabric of space itself, an area with a diameter of 10 million kilometers was laid to waste. Those lucky few sector lords that dodged the first shockwave, at least those still outside the ships, when this second wave hit, they were all definitely killed. The 9th Army Leader said. Even those that were in the interstellar battleships initially, and those universe soldiers fast enough to return to them. The 9th Army Leader shook his head when the second wave of shockwaves hit. Amidst the explosions in space and maelstrom, even normal Undyings would die from such a hit. Even those hiding within the ships, just the tremors from the powerful shockwaves alone caused a large amount of universe-level soldiers to be reduced to heaps of flesh, dying instantly. The domain lords may be heavily injured, but their life cores didn't break, just wounded. All 30 interstellar battleships all escaped via universe travel, no one chased them. The mother nest was probably aiming for us leaders. In summary, 30 interstellar battleships, 28 Undyings, 1,923 sector lords, 5,990 domain lords and 0 universe-level soldiers survived. The 9th Army Leader's face was ashen as he reported. This report made Luo Feng go silent for quite a while. Heavy losses. 30 interstellar battleships, they originally had 30 Undyings, 3,000 sector lords, 30,000 domain lords and 300,000 universe-level soldiers. However, from that one attack, all the universe-level soldiers died from the subsequent shockwaves. Even those hiding within the ships, they were still killed by the space maelstrom and fabric explosions. As very few of the targets were sector lords, they didn't really need to head out. So, other than a small team, large amounts of sector lords stayed within their ships. Hence, more than half of them survived. As most of the domain lords were sent out to hunt the targets, hence only about 1/5 of them survived. Universe level, all dead. How did we lose the 2 Undyings? Dylan asked. According to the survivors, when the 30 interstellar battleships were in the space above the planet, a large amount of universe soldiers were hunting the targets. There were 2 Undyings that left the ships too. The 9th Army Leader sighed when the Bug Clan mother nest teleported over. As we have too many strong warriors gathered here, it first attacked those 2 Undyings. Everybody nodded. They were indeed the most number of powerful warriors here. The Ninth Army leader, the 7 official-level Undyings of the Pagoda Squadron, Long Kai-er, Dylan, the Emperor-level Sai-fan Chi. This power, even if the Bug clan Mother Nest sent out an army and the two of them clashed, many of the Bug soldiers would be sacrificed before they could kill all of them. Hence, to instantly attack this group here with soul techniques, wasn't realistic at all. This mission. Luo Feng forced a smile, 9th Army leader. Luo Feng suddenly thought of the other 70 army groups, asking, how's the result of the other 70 groups engaged in their hunting missions? Please wait a while. The 9th Army leader closed his eyes and sent his consciousness into the virtual universe network, communicating with the 70 Undying commanders. After a while, he opened his eyes. Things are still okay. He looked at Luo Feng. There haven't been any big problems with the other 70 groups on their missions. Luo Feng let out a sigh of relief. With countless people instantly lost before him, and not even 10,000 people left from the original army of 300,000, it was indeed a huge stress on Luo Feng. Especially the countless civilians who originally lived peacefully there, they were all gone now. This made Luo Feng shudder from within. If today's tragedy had happened on Earth instead, what would he do? This was war. The race wars. In front of the race wars, especially the absolute beings that dominated the universe, any one of them had terrifying strength enough to destroy a planet? It was simply a plaything to them. I definitely have to become an absolute warrior. When that time comes, I'll become the upper echelon of the virtual universe company and become one of the true top people in the 1008 universe countries. That way, I can truly protect the Earth. I will even be able to place many of Earth's people inside my God country. Luo Feng had many thoughts. This made his resolve even stronger. Humans, their resolve was dependent on their dreams and targets. Their resolve was also a form of their willpower. Constantly reflecting on oneself and strengthening oneself. Only through this would Luo Feng's willpower keep getting stronger and even more unwavering. No big problems? Luo Feng frowned at the 9th Army leader. You mean there's some small problems? He nodded. The other 3 sector lords weren't caught alive? Luo Feng asked. Even though the mission required him to personally kill 4 sector lords, which would give him 55% of completion, he had only just killed 1 Arifu before. The other 3 were on other planets. Hence in the plan, he had arranged for the people of the 9th Army to capture the other 3. The 3 sector lords have already been caught alive. The 9th Army leader said. And over 90 million of the targets separated into 368 planets. According to their strengths and number density, the 700,000 army have been split into 368 smaller groups. Luo Feng nodded. According to the plan, there shouldn't be any problem. The 9th Army leader nodded. Envoy, my apologies, there has been a small problem within the 368th planet. From that location, 12 targets have fled. Luo Feng frowned. The situation that he feared had happened. According to the mission request that was mainly separated into 3 parts, 1 was to kill the 2 Undyings, 2nd was to personally kill the 4 sector lords, and the 3rd was to kill all of the 1.200 million targets. That number was simply too huge. Luckily he had the 9th Army to assist him. However, he never expected that at the last moment to have a hole in his net. Those on the capital planet would have died without a doubt, then those that escaped would be only those 12. How did they escape? Luo Feng frowned. The main thing is the mission on 368 planets cannot be a 100% as one. The 9th Army leader explained, and this planet that the problem arose on, planet Mosi, its upper-level management had probably received a distress call from one of its partner planets. Hence, it ordered for its organization's members, even those able to influence it, the private bodies etc., to all take their universe ships and leave immediately, with countless ships flying all over. We had only sent 111 people to this planet to deal with the targets, and no interstellar battleships were sent to barricade the space. Hence, we couldn't block it in time. Amidst the chaos, it was impossible to confirm if the targets were in the ships. Even after chasing, we only managed to kill 27 of the 39 targets, as 12 of them escaped. Luo Feng's expression sank, ordering, find and kill those 12. No matter what, we have to kill them. Among these 1.200 million targets, whose names were on the list. As long as even one escaped, then the mission would be deemed a failure. Of course. The 9th Army leader nodded. We have to grasp the time. In a moment I will get help from the Virtual Universe Company Information Department. Luo Feng frowned. Of course we can only hope that they are fleeing to another life planet. As long as the 12 headed to another life planet, they were within the reaches of the virtual universe company. They would be much easier to find. However, if the 12 were scared and extremely cautious, hiding in an uninhabited mineral planet in the universe, and purely relying on their ships to survive, who could find them like that, Envoy? The Ninth Army leader consoled him, leaving a group and living an isolated lifestyle, they are not capable of doing that. As long as they survive past a year, my mission would be a failure. Luo Feng frowned. We can only do our best. Also, send the order to bring the 3 captured sector lords to Red Dawn Planet. Red Dawn Planet was also the gathering spot between Luo Feng and the Gold Horn Race Pagoda Squadron. Within a large hall of Red Dawn Planet, Luo Feng, Elder Sai Fan Chi, Dylan and the Ninth Army leader along with others stood within. Your Majesty. An undying from the Ninth Army bowed respectfully at Luo Feng. The 3 sector lords have been locked up within my world. Take them out. Luo Feng ordered. Yes. This silver-scale armored undying bowed. Simultaneously, he looked at the large space in the hall and brought out 3 3-meter-tall, wide and long dark red boxes. The moment they were out, they rushed into the sky. The silver-scale armored undying snorted coldly, expanding his undying energy while pressuring and binding the 3 boxes. Your Majesty, these 3 boxes are all made of E9 grade alloys. The 3 sector lords cannot escape. The undying explained, however, they can still fly about. You can leave now. Elder Sai Fan Chi ordered. Yes. The undying bowed and left. Elder Sai Fan Chi looked at the 3 boxes, easily using the space around to press down on them. Simultaneously his formless undying energy swiftly opened the 3 alloy boxes. The 3 sector lords were all men. How? Release me. Why have you captured me? The 3 all had different reactions. However, when they felt the powerful auras from the group before them, confirming that more than half of them were undyings, they were all stunned. It's very simple, I'm giving you a chance to live, as long as you can defeat me. Luo Feng looked at the 3, otherwise, there's only death that awaits you. Defeat you? Ji Sai Li, Tan Bulin and later, the 3 sector lords were shocked as they looked at this domain lord level 9 youth. You are Luo Feng of the genius competition, you say we have to defeat you. When the 3 initially saw the group of undyings, they had given up. However, upon hearing Luo Feng's words, their fighting spirit lit up again. But things were different once the battle truly began. Within the hall, a 100-meter area was created by Elder Sai Fan Chi as a space prison. Luo Feng's hands were like incredibly sharp claws, piercing right through Bulin's throat. The terrifying claw crossed and attacked, shattering Bulin's core instantly. His eyes, which were initially staring wide, immediately lost their light. Luo Feng grabbed Bulin by his throat and casually flung him aside. The lifeless body flew like a stone and smashed into the space barrier, his bones breaking and blood splattering about. Luo Feng's eyes were filled with killing intent. His bones were already filled with killing intent from before. Since he had also just witnessed countless people die in this mission, especially the trillions of normal civilians on the capital planet, it made his blood boil with rage. Last one. Luo Feng turned. Standing in the distance with a heavy expression was a 2.3-meter tall and sturdy man. He was the strongest of the 3 sector lords he had to kill personally, Sector Lord Level 3 Lady. Leda no longer had the initial condescending gaze against this youth. But he had finally realized, the most pinnacle of geniuses from the universe, the Domain Lord Level 9, could still easily kill a Sector Lord Level 1 and 2 warrior. Your Majesty Luo Feng, I'm not the same as them, I'm much stronger. Leda, who was binded by the space prison, regained his movements. Also, his eyes flashed. Xiao. A formless spirit energy pierced straight into Luo Feng's mind. Leda's expression changed, his soul attack actually didn't succeed. Luo Feng stared at him coldly. By relying on his earth body against a Sector Lord Level 3 Spirit Reader, he didn't have much guarantee. According to the information, this Sector Lord Spirit Reader had quite the comprehension of origin laws, plus he had his own world, and the world energy to pressure Luo Feng. It was too much of a threat. This was also the biggest test the Virtual Universe Company had given Luo Feng. To prevent the boat from capsizing, Luo Feng had long made the Mosha clansman change into a blade and stay in a resting room, along with his core lying within it. As there was nothing holding him back, Luo Feng could truly go all out against the Sector Lord Level 3 Spirit Reader. Along with Void Pagoda Level 4, and my strong willpower and consciousness, it was actually successful in blocking this Sector Lord Level 3 Spirit Reader's soul attack. Great! Luo Feng thought. The Void Pagoda was a defense mechanism against soul attacks. It had harsh requirements on one's spirit energy and law comprehension. And Luo Feng's law comprehension was akin to a normal Sector Lord Pinnacle warrior. Luo Feng's spirit energy amplitude reached over 3,200. Even many Emperor-level Undyings weren't that strong. This allowed him to finally finish the 4th level of the Void Pagoda within these 50 years, constructed solid and sturdy. One had to know that when Hu Yangbo died, he had the 6th level of the Void Pagoda. The 4th level was already the limit of many Sector Lord Pinnacle warriors. This 4th level would protect the soul, combined with one's consciousness and willpower strength. It would get even stronger, naturally blocking this attack. You are stronger than them. Hence, you are worthy of me using the Nanshan armament. Luo Feng looked at Leda, a dark golden long rod appearing behind him. Looking within the space prison, the match between Luo Feng and Leda had started. One relied on his world projection to form a world, while the other used the Nanshan armament and origin laws to form a blade world. These two worlds clashed over and over, so strong. As a Domain Lord level 9, can he really kill a Sector Lord level 3? And this Sector Lord level 3 Spirit Reader isn't like the weak fodder from before, his law comprehension is pretty high as well. The gold-armored Elder Sai-Fan Chi's expression changed. The absolute geniuses of humanity sure are terrifying. No wonder humanity can stay in power for so long. Elder, shall we invite Luo Feng to our home and build stronger bonds? A short gold horn clansman that was like a steel block said seriously. Invite him over there? Elder Sai-Fan Chi's skin immediately glowed with silver light, a smile appearing on his rigid face. Look, His Majesty Luo Feng is about to win. Elder Sai-Fan Chi smiled and looked within the space prison. Within the prison, Sector Lord Leida's face was pierced. A powerful blade energy entered through his body, and with a rumble, his body exploded open with blood spurting everywhere, smashing against the formless space barrier before falling on the ground. Luo Feng stood on the dark cloud shuttle before slowly descending. Staring at the mess, this Leida is only a Sector Lord level 3. I didn't expect to find it so hard to kill him. Just in terms of strength, he should be about 10 times stronger than me. Domain Lord level 9 to Sector Lord level 1 was a huge jump. The moment one reached Sector Lord level 1, he would have the world energy and his own internal world. Also, his strength would rise by over 10 times. In pure strength alone, Sector Lord level 3 was about 4 times stronger than that of Sector Lord level 1. All in all, in terms of pure strength, Sector Lord level 3 was tens of times that of a Domain Lord level 9. And Leida's origin law comprehension was almost at the Heavenly Bridge level 6. Luo Feng completely relied on his own comprehension being stronger, along with his shocking spirit amplitude to dominate his opponent and finally kill him. I've already used my full strength in law attacks. I didn't expect him to force me to use 1,200 times my amplitude. Luo Feng thought. A small Sector Lord level 3 was able to reach Heavenly Bridge level 6 in comprehension. He's not renowned or anything, but was just a very normal Sector Lord. Training the origin laws at Sector Lord level is indeed fast. Rumble. The space prison crumbled and dispersed. Congratulations, Your Majesty, on your victory. Elder Sai-Fan Chi walked over first and smiled as he said, Your Majesty is only at Domain Lord level 9, and yet, you actually managed to kill a Sector Lord level 3 Spirit Reader. This indeed is respectable. For humanity to be able to produce such an absolute genius like yourself, humanity will only get stronger in the future. Luo Feng smiled and simultaneously ordered mentally, Barbata, close the broadcast. The moment your battle ended, I shut it off already. Barbata said. Luo Feng couldn't help it. The difference between a living AI and a normal AI was, a living AI could make his own decisions. Of course, he mainly didn't disobey or go against Luo Feng's basic orders. Your Majesty Luo Feng. The armored youth Kashna asked, how much of your strength did that Sector Lord level 3 punk make you use, Kashna? Elder Sai-Fan Chi roared softly, shut up. Kashna lowered his head. As a Sector Lord, seeing Luo Feng, Domain Lord level 9, kill a Sector Lord level 3, he naturally felt curious. Elder Sai-Fa Chi, Kashna's question is nothing. Luo Feng smiled indifferently, this Leida forced me to use half of my strength. Half? Elder Sai-Fan Chi, Kashna, and the others, even the undying Dylan, were shocked. Luo Feng had already used the Nanshan armament blade world's omnipresent level, and that still wasn't his limit? Luo Feng laughed within. He had raised his spirit energy amplitude to 1,200 earlier, still halfway from his limit of 3,200. Plus his strongest flying weapon, the Luo Fu Liu board. The moment he used that, his flying speed and flexibility etc. would rise incredibly. However, the Luo Fu Liu was simply too valuable. It was the usual choice for official level undyings. Luo Feng didn't want to take it out for this battle. In summary, during this battle, Luo Feng had used about 1/3 of his strength. Of course, this was only his earth body. After a while, within the ceremony hall, a banquet had filled the table. Luo Feng, Dylan, the 5-sector Lord Guards along with the 9th Army leader stood there with human food laid out before them, a few peculiar fruits, meat dishes etc. On the other side, Elder Sai Fan Chi, the 7 official level undyings and Kashna had special alloys and materials laid out before them. Just like how the golden horned beast ate mostly metal, different life forms enjoyed completely different foods. Elder Sai Fan Chi, I'm really grateful for all your help this time. If it weren't for you all including Mr. Long Kai killing Yao Hao and Jeffrey wouldn't have been that easy. Luo Feng lifted his wine glass, smiling, let me toast you all. Your Majesty is courteous. Elder Sai Fan Chi and the other undyings of the Pagoda Squadron all lifted their glasses, even Kashna did so. Mr. Long Kai's contribution was huge. However, it's a pity he had to leave early. Elder Sai Fan Chi smiled and lifted his glass, drinking some very thick liquid. Luo Feng and the rest couldn't drink after watching the scene, however Elder Sai Fan Chi and the others seemed to totally enjoy it. Your Majesty. Elder Sai Fan Chi put down his glass and smiled, after we are done eating, we'll be returning to our home and race. Before that, I would like to humbly invite Your Majesty Luo Feng to head over to our Gold Horn race's dwelling place. Luo Feng was stunned. Head to where the Gold Horn race live? Your Majesty, our Gold Horn race is after all a huge race within the universe. Elder Sai Fan Chi said proudly. We have an incredibly ancient history along with humanity, and also our own unique secrets. Even if we don't talk about anything else, we can talk about the Nanshan armament Your Majesty uses. Nanshan armament? Luo Feng was curious, why did they mention this? The Nanshan armament is one of the 9 god weapons for the spirit reader. Elder Sai Fan Chi smiled. Not just for humans, there are many races in the universe, as long as they walk the path of spirit readers, many use the Nanshan armament. A truly good invention will be used by many races in the universe. Luo Feng nodded. Your Majesty should know that the creator of the Nanshan armament is the greatest doyen within the history of our Gold Horn race. Elder Sai Fan Chi said. Doyen? Luo Feng was curious. Doyen, what position was that in the Gold Horn race? Your Majesty may not have heard. Elder Sai Fan Chi laughed, our Gold Horn race is different from humanity. Humans govern on the universe country level. Our Gold Horn race however has hundreds of thousands of tribes that compete amongst each other, and the ones that govern over all these tribes are the powerful doyen institution. Only when one becomes a doyen would he be able to enter the institution. What level of strength are the doyens? Luo Feng asked. The most pinnacle of beings in a race, what strength was that? One first has to become a universe knight to be able to become a doyen. Elder Sai Fan Chi's eyes were filled with anticipation. The doyens within the institution have all become universe knights. Luo Feng sucked in a cold breath. There was only one universe knight in the entire Ganwu universe country, the Ganwu leader. And the most pinnacle force of the Gold Horn clan was a group of doyens that were all universe knights. How many doyens are there in the Gold Horn race? Luo Feng asked curiously. My apologies. Elder Sai Fan Chi shook his head, the strength of any race will always be a secret. How many doyens the Gold Horn race has, even I, don't have the answer, as this is one of the most guarded secrets. Luo Feng nodded. It was normal. If their trump cards were all revealed and they weren't strong enough, the entire race would be eliminated. And the one who created the Nanshan armament is the greatest doyen in the history of our Gold Horn race, 11 Luo Duo. Elder Sai Fan Chi's voice rose. As for the other 7 official level undyings and Kashna, their eyes all gleamed with pride and worship. 11 Luo Duo, the great 11 Luo Duo. The eternal pride of our Gold Horn race, 11 Luo Duo. Elder Sai Fan Chi and the other 9 members of the race were all extremely passionate in their worship. Luo Feng could feel the strong passion within. Under the great leadership of 11 Luo Duo, our Gold Horn race managed to have a place in the universe. Elder Sai Fan Chi suddenly grew darker, However, ever since Doyen 11 Luo Duo entered a terrifying universe secret region and hasn't returned, our Gold Horn race position has fallen since. Luo Feng was shocked. An entire race, its position fell because of the disappearance and death of a great leader? This could only mean that the leader was too strong, and the rest of the race's power was too far away from this leader's. After which, our Gold Horn race became the supporters of humanity. Elder Sai Fan Chi said, with humanity's help, we were able to acquire enough territory for our race to survive. Luo Feng sighed. 11 Luo Duo? Looks like this was an absolute being that dominated the universe and was someone much stronger than the Ganwu universe country leader. Otherwise, how could he support an entire race? 11 Luo Duo left a sacred tablet back then. Elder Sai Fan Chi said proudly. This sacred tablet is akin to your humanity's primal chaos tablet. Luo Feng was stunned. Right, Primal Chaos City had a total of 52 primal chaos tablets. They were used to nurture the many generations of humanity's absolute warriors. He didn't expect the Gold Horn race to actually have a sacred tablet similar to the Primal Chaos tablets, and it was left behind by 11 Luo Duo. In our race, only the most exceptional geniuses have the right to go study it. Elder Sai Fan Chi exclaimed. Over trillions of years, many of our undyings relied on it to break through to undying. Even after 11 Luo Duo's disappearance, he is still our race's greatest being. Luo Feng nodded. Without the sacred tablet 11 Luo Duo left behind, the speed of which the Gold Horn race nurtured their warriors would probably be much slower. Your Majesty, the Nanshan armament is a god weapon 11 Luo Duo created back then, and it is very suitable for sector lords. Elder Sai Fan Chi said. And the inheritance of 11 Luo Duo deepens the Nanshan armament. Over a trillion years, countless of our elites have studied the sacred tablet, yet most of them only understand a bit of it. If your Majesty heads over to our Gold Horn race, I will personally send a request to the Doyens. If I get their approval, your Majesty will be able to go study the sacred tablet. Elder Sai Fan Chi smiled at Luo Feng. Since your Majesty uses the Nanshan armament, you should be walking the path of space and gold laws. I believe that studying the tablet will greatly benefit you. Of course, this requires the Doyen's approval, and this is our race's most sacred ground. I cannot say I have 100% guarantee. Luo Feng was burning with excitement. The 52 Primal Chaos tablets of Primal Chaos City had 2 laws mixed within them, and also those specialized in time, specialized in space, or even in both. However, there was no tablet specializing in space and gold. He didn't expect the great being of another race to actually leave behind a sacred tablet that had that. Will your Majesty be willing to head to where our Gold Horn race lives? Elder Sai Fan Chi smiled at Luo Feng. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.